to the gods, the Ringside Club Pod. My name is Aew, say you're the Ron and Don. Blame Boogie while you at it, blame Chad Law. Kayfabe is dead, break the fourth wall. Whatever style, whether it's lucha or strong style, come through the venue, fly, burn the bar down. Back to the pad, chop it up for the par. Ringside Club, intro to the squad as the show starts. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths. You were tuned in to the mighty Ringside Club Pro Wrestling Podcast. As always, my name is Aew. I am joined that way. How'd that work? I'm joined by that guy right there.
Yes, you're joined by this guy here. I am Ron the Don, the 5-foot assassin, giving you offers you can't refuse.
Hey,
my name is in the little box, Ron Don PMF all around.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is. I'm everybody's favorite scapegoat, Blame Boogie. I don't really want you to hit me up, but my name's in the box too.
There you go.
Facts.
What it is, my babies. It's the kid, Young Godiva himself, CHADLAW. Chad Law in the spot right now. This is the Ringside Club, giving it to y'all like we do every week. We flooding. We staying relevant. We staying busy. You know, you see what we doing on the promotional side. We getting the content out for you. Pro wrestling hats. Y'all about to see us stepping, man. You know what I'm saying? We roll repping our ish today. You know what I'm saying? You got the Chad Law shirt. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go to grab that, thelawlayer.com. You see the PMF on the hat. You see the studio space that Boogie be cooking in right now. You know what I'm saying? You see the PMF right there. Go get that content. Go pick it up.
We are moving. We are moving. Absolutely. So once again, this is the Ringside Club. Before we get started, make sure you check out the ringsideclub.com, at Ringside Club on TikTok and Instagram, at the Ringside Club on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe across all podcast platforms. Of course, we're right there on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, building that YouTube up. Anywhere you get your podcasts, trust me, we there. We make it real easy for you. We ain't even charging y'all yet. You heard? How's everybody feeling? Everybody's good. Everybody's feeling all right. It's a lovely evening right here. Everybody good?
I gotta get some tea, man. I've been feeling a little bit under the weather, just like his allergies kind of just been kicking my ass a little bit. So I gotta get my tea right. You know what I'm saying? I just made sure that I took my zinc, took my vitamins and everything I needed to just a little while ago. Just got some grub in me. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got a strict recording time, is we got to keep it. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens with consistency. You know, you right at it.
Consistency is king.
Absolutely.
And when you lack motivation to stay consistent, that's it. You feel me? So we cooking though.
That's a fact.
Speaking of cooking, my wife had all kinds of home cooked meals for me this week. So other than this podcast, I'm going to sleep, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a blessing.
I just filled up on some Jamaican food and I'm ready to go.
Let's start the show every week with food, bro. Damn.
What you cop? What you cop from the spot?
You ever went to the Doors in Queens?
Okay.
Of Guy Brewer? Hit that spot, bro. Hit that spot. Like probably the best jerk chicken I've ever had.
Shout to the Doors in Queens.
Yo, shout to the Doors, man. Off Guy
Brewer. That's a strong comment. Like the best jerk chicken you ever had. That's strong.
Like honestly, think about it now. Like it's nicely seasoned, not too hot. It's just right, man.
Yo, come to think of it, Ronnie be saying some divisive shit, bro. He'll bring up some shit on Twitter to cause a conversation, yo.
Yo, he's the guy. Yo, 9 times out of 10, whoever's out here like on the Ringside Club like tweeting is Ron, right? Every once in a while, be one of those that's like, a little dot right there.
Hey, listen, you should just come to me, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
He said it's a gift from Allah.
I'm just saying. All praises due.
Inshallah.
All praises due.
All right, so we're coming off a nice packed week of pro wrestling, specifically a nice packed weekend first and foremost. We're coming off. We have SummerSlam pop up. We have Ric Flair's alleged last match pop up. We're still in the beginning stages of the new era, Monday Night Raw, Triple H takeover, and of course Dynamite was last night. But we definitely let's start off by acknowledging our new tribal chief, our new first ever Around the Rings predictions champion, the one and only Mr. Chad Law, who kicked all our asses, made more correct picks than the rest of us. I came in last place. It is what it is. I take that graciously.
The guy that caught SummerSlam on delay ended up catching the W. That's great.
I was thinking that too. I was like, this dude, man.
Nah, it's because he was so comfortable in his picks. He's like, nah, y'all got that. Y'all go ahead and watch that shit.
I'll find out how it went down later.
That was great, man. Shout out to everybody that helped make this happen, man. You too can join in on all the fun by subscribing to the Ringside Club on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and seeing me post the championship belt across all the platforms in the next couple of months. Best believe. We've got shows and I've got defenses. Got a lot of people gunning for my title. I'm on y'all, man. Ringside Club.
That's all right. We got pay-per-views coming up. We got Clash at the Castle coming up. We got All Out coming up.
UK All Out. Yeah. I'm excited for these cards though. More All Out than Clash of the Champions or Clash of the Title, Castle, Kingdom. We'll get to that.
Word up. But let's run down the SummerSlam results. Everybody figure out like what stood out to you, what was most memorable, what were some of the best moments. I'm gonna just run down the actual results first, and then we'll double back and chop it up about it. But we get a nice card. SummerSlam results are as follows: we have Bianca Belair, defending champion. She defeated Becky Lynch. Got a nice little face turn from Becky Lynch. We had some returns. We had Bayley pop up. We had the newly crowned Io Sky return. Dakota Kai return. So that was pretty cool. We had Logan Paul defeat The Miz. We had Bobby Lashley, the defending U.S. champ. He defeated Theory. We had the Mysterios defeat the Judgment Day, which I don't think any of us had. So none of us got any points on that one.
Not at all.
I really seen it.
Yeah, really seen it. Pat McAfee, he beat Happy Corbin. We had the Usos, who are the undisputed tag team champs, defend against the Street Profits successfully. Looks like this look trouble in paradise, shall we say, Street Profits land. Liv Morgan defended her title, controversial fashion, against Ronda Rousey. And finally, Roman Reigns, in one of the craziest, batshit crazy matches I've ever seen, defended his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Brock Lesnar. First thing that stood out to me, just reading that down, and this just popped up, there were no everybody defended. There was no
title changes.
Yeah, no title
changes. Nobody got to say and new at the end of that pay-per-view.
Nope.
I think that's good, man. It gives, because I think with the bigger spectacles like SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, we're expecting so much to happen. There's so much energy around it. I think all of us could, except for Chad, who watched it on delay, we were all excited as fuck watching this shit. Even though, we might have been overhyping it, but that's the whole point of it. It's the whole moment. It's the whole idea. The whole idea of watching pay-per-view is like, just getting into it. So I feel like they could save some of those title changes to develop the stories that are starting right now. So why change a title when a whole regime just ended? So I don't know. I feel like it's comfortable, man.
Yeah, like I thought it was cool. Like I like the fact that there was definitely a different vibe in the air. I think there's still a lot of people that are just excited about this new Triple H regime, for starters. But in general, like it was a good crowd. Let me ask y'all this: how y'all feel about like stadiums versus arenas? Because a lot of times like that sound happens to get lost a little bit, so it seems like the crowd isn't really alive when they really are. But how do y'all feel about that?
I think it's dope. I love the openness of the arena. The stadium. Excuse me. I just remember like the old school stuff. That's the only thing really. Like when we talk about wrestling, it's only two things that we really care about. It's either something new or something old that's done the same or better than it was done before. So I feel like those old pay-per-views where they had the arena full of like, it looked like damn near 300, 400,000 people. It looked like every person on earth is at the pay-per-view. At an open setting, it was just kind of dope. I don't know. I kind of like that.
Yeah, honestly, that's something I gotta think about because I never really think about a arena versus stadium. Obviously, stadium holds a lot more people. My man, I was talking to you about that on Saturday. Like they're saying, how many people were in the stadium? Like 50,000, or I
think it was like 48.
It's like 48, something like 48.
That. Yeah. And I kept telling him the whole night. I was like, yo. you look around in the stadium, it looks like it's like 70,000 people, and apparently it's not. So obviously, with the biggest stadium, obviously you can hold more people. But I mean, the thing is like, you go up higher, it's like harder to see the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like with the
It's like a
actual
football
arena,
game.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
a football game. You really got to look at those big screens to see what's really going on. For like a arena, I would say it's a little more intimate because actually you get to see everything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
I'm spoiled. I think I've gotten used to the Thunderdome and Impact Zone and NWA, GPB Studios, and all that. Like I like smaller confined spaces just because I can feel more intimate with the wrestling and what's going on. When you're in that big ass stadium, you really do look like you're getting lost. And I can imagine the people that are there hours on end, and we'll attest to this when we attend WrestleMania Live, like being there for 6 to 7 hours straight, just sitting there or standing there. Can we partake in the campaign? Can we, you know what I mean?
Chad,
LA?
even being at
Oh, yeah,
Dynamite,
LA. How can we not partake? Like, that's
going to a
insane.
taping of Dynamite or going to Dynamite Live is brutal, and that's nowhere near a pay-per-view. And you're there for only like what 4 or 5 hours. It's nuts, bro.
So I would rather the more intimate settings. It's just more of like a limited space type of thing.
Yeah, we're.
I remember going to those HOG shows, and it's like, yo, me and A were like right up on the
Ringside. We was ringside for
literally
real.
ringside. And then even if you get like the more further back seats, you're still right there. So like I said, it's a little more intimate.
Okay.
The high school gymnasiums are always fire, bro. You might see some janky promotions, but they're always fire.
Yo, I saw I don't know what his last name was at the time, but Johnny, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Mundo. I saw him in a one-on-one match against AJ Styles in a gym, which was fire.
Oh, that's fire.
Wow.
And I saw the Young Bucks live. It was somewhere in Brooklyn. It was the FWE, Family Wrestling Entertainment.
This is Johnny Family?
Yeah, it might have been Johnny Family versus AJ Styles.
Wow. Book it.
Johnny Family.
Johnny Familia against AJ Styles.
Oh no.
Yo, what was everybody's favorite moment or favorite match from SummerSlam? Like I'll tell you, I think just the spectacle of seeing Brock lift the damn ring up. I never thought that I'd see anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't sure when he came down with that forklift or shovel or whatever that was, exactly what he was going to do with it, but that was nuts. So that's one of my takeaways. Ron, what was one of your favorite moments?
I think that was my second favorite moment. I think my first favorite moment was Return of Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. I like that. I like the fact that Bailey is back, man, back from injury. That's one thing. But for her to come back as a stable, it's crazy. And especially when we saw that Io Sky, we didn't see Io Sky in NXT for a minute, and they were saying that she, I think her contract ran out or something, or she was going to leave.
Yeah, Dakota Kai was out of here, and then Io Shirai, now Io Sky, was rumored to not resign.
Right.
Yo,
right.
Who was it on Raw that was having trouble with the last name? It was so. Oh, it's what the hell's his name? Corey Graves.
Corey Graves.
Bro, he was. I felt so bad for him. You could tell he was embarrassed as shit.
He was all of us. He was all of us because I was messing up the name too.
Yeah, it was awesome to hear.
No,
I guess I'll go next. My favorite moment, I guess Ronnie kind of took it because I love Bailey. I think, and so I'll give my second, but I will agree with Ronnie first because, we all could agree the women's division's been hurting. You could tell by the boring chants during the Ronda match, and it's just, it is what it is. I think we need some more flavor, some more character in the women's division. And you guys know I hate that word division. I just feel like it causes divisiveness or whatever. But yeah, whatever. So my favorite moment, I guess I'd have to say, something I was pleasantly surprised by was the way I guess the Becky and Bianca match ended, because for Becky to come back and be a heel SummerSlam last year, and then come back and be a babyface SummerSlam this year at the end of the match, I think those are perfect bookends to a story. Mm-hmm. Outside of her injury, I just feel like that's the storytelling that we all come to know and love from professional wrestling. So that's my shit right there.
All right, facts. All right.
I was gonna go with the Bailey moment. You know, I would co-sign that with you guys. I love seeing the freshness. I love seeing
how fire is it that she's
tired.
back, yo? It's so great.
I love that Io's getting the main roster run. She even got a chance to have a one-on-one dance with Bianca. Like, that's a great hell of a debut. I'm going to say my moment would be Paul Heyman taking the F5 through the announce table.
Yo, when's the last time Paul
Bravo.
Heyman took a bump?
I don't
Paul Heyman took a bump
It's been a minute.
That was fire.
That was pretty.
Bro,
That was
I thought the
Heyman
cartoon
selling
vultures
guy.
were gonna come out.
Heyman is a
I
selling
thought they were gonna come out with the cot and try to carry him off with the cot. He was dead
the
for
old
real,
school
for real. Yeah, just
is the selling god, yo. God bless Paul Heyman.
Yo, he was down for a minute too.
For some of those videos
like
and those pictures where they were carrying him out. Yo,
yes.
Yeah, he looked like he was near death.
That was the best.
Sure.
That was the best thing.
No, actually, you know what? We have to give an honorable mention, yo. Since we're in the same idea, same match, we got it. Everybody, I'm sorry if we don't give a round of applause for Roman Reigns catching that microphone like that. I have no idea how he did it. That was fantastic. Caught on live.
Yo, and then he winked.
And then he winked.
He caught him. He said,
"That's some." Ladies and gentlemen, this man was being booed for having no personality and being forced on us, and he's catching microphones midair and winking at a fucking beast. What was that moment?
Imagine holding that personality back. Like, this was all on chill for years, and now that he's out here, wild. Like, where was this the whole time?
Wow.
God,
I'm so happy we have it now.
He's not. He's really. He shouldn't lose, and like rightfully so. Like, he's just not.
All right, let's do this. Just because let's do this every time because I think this will be dope. Out of 5 rings, all right, how many rings you give SummerSlam?
In order. So, Aew.
I'm gonna go. Damn, that's pressure. Yo, so I enjoyed the pay-per-view. There was some real strong points. There were a couple slow points. I think the energy of watching it live is better than watching it on replay. So I'm gonna give you 2 answers. I'm gonna give you what I think quality-wise it was and how I enjoyed it. Right? Enjoyment, it was a 5. Ronnie came through. I was not drunk but close. Had some food. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time. So enjoyment, absolute 5. Quality-wise,
Ronnie brought the vibes.
Yeah, Ronnie brought the vibes.
Oh, as usual. Oh, I always
quality-wise, and then like replay value. There's definitely a couple of matches I go back and check. I might give it like a 3.5. You know, it was about like it was a little bit better than average, and I only say a little bit better because there were a couple of matches that if I was booking it wouldn't have happened in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell like Triple H was inheriting plans that were already in order before he got there and got the book kind of thing. But then like you can't front on that opening match with Bianca and Bailey. You can't front on the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns match. You can't front on Logan Paul still surprising us. That frog splash off of the top rope through a table, you know.
For real.
He got his moment.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, that wasn't the cleanest match, but you can't front on his entertainment value and what he brings to the table.
And I will say that goes to show you how hard that shit is that he really does. We all know it's difficult. There ain't none of us in this podcast that could do that. But that jump from the floor to the top rope,
I ain't taking nothing.
That's difficult to do, bro.
Exactly.
That's not easy.
You know what I'm saying? So like I think it's one of those things where the highs definitely were higher than the lows were. You know what I'm saying? Like they definitely outpowered the lows. So it was a dope pay-per-view. I'd even go further than that. I'd say like a 3.75. 3.75 overall as far as quality replay value. What you think, Ron?
I say I'll give it a 4. The point of it was to give me entertainment, and it absolutely did. You know, like you said, the highs were high, and you know the lows were what it is. You know, it wasn't a perfect show. It wasn't like it was 10 years ago. But I thoroughly enjoyed it from top to bottom. You know, so yeah, 4 out of 5 rings.
I'm gonna take a different approach to this one, man. I'm sorry, y'all can hate me for this one, but I do believe that the whole idea of this shit, the reason why we all like it is for that feeling you get from watching this shit. You just enjoy it. You chase that feeling. It's kind of like a drug, right? So the excitement that went into this just being a different regime running it, and then it ending on that note that it ended with all that crazy shit in the Brock Lesnar match, I'm gonna give this shit a 7, bro. Just because I was so hyped to see this shit, and then actually watching it, I was not really yawning until the Ronda match. Everything else is all right. I don't ever really care about half these people on the card. I'm not gonna lie to you, but they made it exciting enough where every match had something that I cared about. I love Rey Mysterio. I'm so happy with the contributions he's given, but I'm really not getting out of bed to watch a Rey Mysterio match. I'm just being honest. So the fact that I was into that was dope. You know what I mean? So I feel like they put on a good show. Everyone did their job, even Liv Morgan and Ronda. But I think the WWE now just kind of needs to smell where shit's at with that, and just make something else happen. But whatever's clever. Chad.
Facts.
I'm gonna give it 3 stars, 3 rings out. Yeah, 3 out of 5 rings. Let's go with 3 out of 5 rings. If I had to use 2 hands to give it a thumbs up, I'd only use 1. So it'd be like 1 hand. Because that's the pay-per-view. That's the way the pay-per-view felt. It felt like a good job, WWE. This is cool. Like it's not like WrestleMania, but it's cool. I can't really
I said 7, but I meant to say 5. That's the high shit. It's not London pound cake this week.
I'll give it a solid 3. I'll give it a solid straight 3 on the nose. I ain't even gonna put a point on it. I ain't even gonna make it in weed terms. This is gonna be a straight 3.
All right, so we got Aew with a 3.75. We got Ronnie with a 4, me with a 5, and Chad with a 3.
Yeah, and Boog, you made a good point with like falling asleep. Because I remember coming over to A's house and they have these pay-per-views ending at like 11:30 midnight sometimes.
Yes.
And at around 11 o'clock, I'm almost passing out. This time, I stayed up. Like I wasn't even yawning, I wasn't doing anything.
So I have to pause that, sir. I have to pause that, sir.
Yeah, I think it did a good job. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Sorry about that. I didn't even catch that shit.
I was awake. Let's put it like that. I stayed awake.
Hark.
Does that sound better?
Hark. I was awakened.
He is digging in the vocabulary.
I stayed at attention.
Oh my god.
Some SAT words out there.
Yeah. All right, so like
shit.
SummerSlam was solid. Yep. That Saturday was SummerSlam. Sure. And then we got to Sunday. Sunday rolled around, and all of the highs that SummerSlam brought about. I'm gonna tell you, this was one of the most uncomfortable. First of all, it was a decent card. Like just looking at this card, and if you don't know what we're talking about, if you don't know what we're talking about, of course we're talking about Ric Flair's last match. It was a pay-per-view that was put on where you had a good amount of promotions that decided to participate and lend talent and some interesting matchups, and but the pay-per-view obviously wasn't without its flaws. But by the time we got to the main event, that was one of the most uncomfortable 73, 74, 75-year-old Ric Flair.
It was past Ric Flair's bedtime.
Waviest group of people to put in a main event on a Sunday. Just an eclectic group of people in the building in general.
In the building.
Yeah.
Like the main event, and I don't know if anybody, like whoever else watched this, had any other. Before we even get to the main event, the one thing I will say that I didn't kind of like about the card was on paper, there were a lot of really dope matches, but it seemed like whoever was booking this, I think it was Conrad Thompson or whoever his team was putting this card together. There were a lot of matches and not a lot of time to let these matches breathe. So they were in and out. Like just when you think that match would hit like a second gear, it was over. Count to 3,
clothesline
out here onto the next.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, seeing Josh Alexander and Jacob Fatu was whoa, why is this not getting the right treatment? Right. And why is off this card?
Yeah, I want to see that with the proper time, with a proper build, a story behind it, a title.
That's like doing Roman Reigns and fucking Hangman Adam Page. Like, oh yeah, let's just do that on a random fucking card. That's just
let's do that on Rampage. Like no. Like we need some time for that.
You know that was a good one. And I wish Jacob Fatu would take his talents to anywhere else. But
sincerely around the rings.
Man, one day we're gonna have an honest conversation about MLW Major League Wrestling. Because like on paper, the whole concept of MLW should be really dope. One of the things that I do not understand for the life of me is why y'all don't, at the very least, do live pay-per-views more often.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the whole thing about wrestling is like, this is one of the things that Impact struggles from too, as far as at least their weekly TV. And I'm a make my point right back to this. But it's one of those things where once you have like, you do tapings and you have all of this in the can, and then you just kind of edit it and put like a pre-recorded card out, the energy dies down. That crowd has been sitting there for God knows how many hours. There ain't no
energy. A lot of taping.
There's a lot of tapings. And I've been to an Impact. Ronnie and I went to a Impact taping a couple of years ago. It's, first of all, it's a weird vibe, period. Like, Impact is a whole different type of fan base. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different type of fan base.
I would definitely agree. I went to one in Atlanta, and it was during the Tessa Blanchard era.
God bless.
That was a wavy era in itself.
Yeah.
Not touching.
But like, yeah. But in general, like, you know, MLW has promise. But anyway, let's get back to this. Main event, Ric Flair teaming up with Andrade against Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. First of all, nobody had that on their bingo card at the top of the year, period. What kind of combination of humans is that? How y'all felt about that? About the match, about the card?
Listen.
If you want to be honest, I feel like what it turned out is like you put a bunch of possibilities in one of them old school bingo machines where you mix it up and you just pull it out. And they pulled out like a couple different things, and that's what we threw together. That's just my honest opinion. Yeah. But
you know what? I will
Ric
say
some of the hardest kicks I've ever seen in my life, though.
I'm glad that they chose that combination of people, because if it was Ric Flair versus Ricky Morton or Ricky the Dragon Steamboat or Tatanka or somebody from Heyday,
yo, bro,
even like
Tatanka,
Paul White, like I don't know anybody, like it could have been somebody from NWA, like somebody from the old Crockett promote, like that just wouldn't have been exciting to this group, to this audience he's trying to appeal to. Like we appreciate the last match, but like, come on, man, we don't want to see two 80-year-old guys fight each other. Like, what kind of carny shit is this? So I appreciate the tag team effort of bringing Andrade and giving him that look, because Lord knows he doesn't have any look other than that right now. Even with Roosh in AEW, you've got Jay Lethal, who's having a pretty good push. Like, Jay Lethal's having a like one thumb up push. Like, cool. Like, Jay Lethal's here. Like, what's up? Like, you know, nothing really else to write home about other than Jay Lethal's here. Dope. And then like Jeff Jarrett, who is just always going to be like his TNA theme is golden. When that music hit and he came out pissing the crowd off, I was like, yeah, this feels like good old TNA days. I like this.
Double J.
I like the vibe. My World, evil theme. One of the more underrated theme songs from a heel goes to Jeff Jarrett, My World.
Jeff Jarrett's definitely one of them dudes too where, yeah, he's past his peak, you know what I mean? He's past his prime. But he's definitely still got it to go and give it in a match, you know, like, and I think it kind of has to do with his stature too. He's not like one of them big, like Undertaker's big as fuck, right? Kevin Nash, big as fuck. That's just not sustainable. You know what I mean? Yao Ming only did like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? But like,
so many moves that Jeff Jarrett's even gonna hit though. Like, he's gonna hit you with like
the ain't I great,
low blow, figure four, and then hit you with the stroke.
Yep.
And a guitar
I think it was good. It was a good look for pretty much everybody. And I'm not going to say except Ric Flair. I will say this, right? Something that we never think about because we're still kind of young, right? We're all going to be old one day, hopefully, you know, God willing, whatever. We're going to be old one day. How fucking dope is it to be running around at 70-something, still doing what you want to do and be sent off that way? That shit's fire, bro. If I was him, you know, I would be all fucking fucked up on whatever the fuck I do and go out there and have a great fucking night.
You know he's selling za now. It's crazy.
Yo, he almost bled out on Sunday and he's selling bud on Wednesday.
Like, 140 a quarter, Chad. You heard?
Yo, 140 a quarter.
What's the rates on the Flair pack?
For the drip is 140 a quarter.
140.
140 for the 7 Grizzlies? Wow, that's
yeah, bro. Rick's getting 20 a grand.
Ric Flair drip go woo on a bitch.
Yo, that's
all right. So my question around the ring is gonna be real short, sweet, to the point. Is this Ric Flair's last match?
I hope so.
Nah, we're done.
I hope so.
Allegedly,
I don't need
I
to see
think for real this time. Yeah.
I do think he may still do managerial work. He may still do run-ins. You might see him with Andrade here and there now, but I don't think we're getting a match.
I can live with him doing managerial work for Andrade and AEW down the line. I can live with that.
That would actually make sense because Andrade is married to his daughter, so
Andrade
that can definitely work out if he ever goes to AEW. So,
and now that I think that some of that blowback from what happened with his departure is kind of like slowed down. I think now that he's got the last match, everyone's got the hoorah for Ric Flair. I think now would be, I could see Flair coming out at All Out and us being like,
All right, so I don't know if you can tell how much this stressed me out, but I just lit an unknown substance off camera. Could we get Jose the assistant to fuck away from Andrade and just get him a real push sometime soon?
Flair should come in. Flair should come in for
like
that.
What the fuck are we doing? Fuck the monetizing right now. What the fuck are we doing with Andrade for real? Like,
nothing. Right
there's
now,
a bunch of guys. That could actually be a whole podcast rundown. What the fuck are we doing with certain people in AEW? But whatever.
Yeah, I was about to say like that's a whole.
That's a whole nother conversation.
We could do
that's a special episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna rock on Patreon for
that. Ringside Club, you gotta pay for that. I do think that was his last match. I don't know, like. See, here's the thing. Like, it's been Ric Flair's last match a couple of times. He had the retirement in WWE. He had the retirement in TNA. He's having a retirement match here. I think, like, physically, he probably – it's all about if he actually understands that you can't do this anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, word.
I think, like, if he starts feeling good one day, he might want to go out and do something. I think, like, he still has a place in wrestling if he wants to, be like a secondary or a supporting role. You can definitely come out as a manager. You can be a commissioner. You can do commentary. You can be an ambassador. You can be a coach in the back because there's so much knowledge that you have. You were the last like traveling world champion, NWA territory days. So there's a lot of things that Ric Flair can offer without being on screen and like taking suplexes at 75. But you got to remember, this guy a few years ago was like in the hospital.
Dead.
I remember the first. Yeah, he's dead. He was dead. I remember the first pictures that started to come out when he was back in his suits and all that, and them suits was hanging on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he looked great.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So one of those things is like, it should be his last match. There's always that glimmer, that little bit of that little small chance, that speckle of a chance that he might just feel good one day and decide to do it. But I think for real this time, this really might be a third time as a charm. You know what I'm saying?
You know how it goes in pro wrestling. You know how it goes in pro
wrestling. Nobody
never.
This time next year, GCW presents Ric Flair's last match.
Come on, man.
Ric Flair, Nick Gage?
Don't put that in the
universe. Ric Flair, Nick Gage, death match.
He'll literally
Joey Janela, guest referee.
Ric Flair, Joey Janela, death match rules. GCW, Ric Flair's last match. Let's go.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let's go.
Listen,
anything's possible in pro wrestling, my boys. We're laughing now, but when you see that GCW poster go up this time next year with Ric Flair's face on it, don't say we didn't joke.
I want to be surprised. Listen, I'd be like one of those fans that saw Ric Flair stage and say, "You still got it." No, you don't.
Yeah, they were chanting. It's like, nah, bro. Like this ain't a you got it moment right here. This is like
this is like get the
you did it. You did it.
Moment.
You got it. You did it. You did that. You did it. Let's leave it alone. Next topic. What we got?
Hey yo, take us on. Time to switch topics.
Shouts to the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Appreciate all that you've done. Blase, blah. Don't die, my nigga. Like, you gotta chill. You gotta relax. You gotta relax.
Please don't die.
We're gonna travel from Sunday to Monday. We have Monday Night Raw. Okay. We're still in the middle of the beginning of the Triple H creative regime. We're still in the beginning stages of two new co-CEOs in Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon. This is the return of the McMahon-Helmsley era. 20 years ago, this is coming to fruition now. Me personally, like, the first hour, for instance, was commercial free. There weren't any commercials. You saw a lot of action.
Fire.
There's a lot of small changes that people might not be able to pick up on at first, like commentaries making reference to outside promotions and the history of certain wrestlers' careers,
Right.
or being able
using
to
the word wrestling.
You exactly using the word wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Calling the universe fans instead of the WWE universe. Like little small changes. You don't have somebody, I would assume, screaming in the headset. So I don't know. Like this Monday Night Raw is the second Monday Night Raw Triple H has been in charge creatively. For me, I like the direction it's going. Like it's still going to be a 3-hour show, which might be a task for people to get through. But in general, I like the direction that Monday Night Raw is going in, and it was a nice show to come up on after SummerSlam, to follow up on. So how does everybody feel about the direction that Monday Night Raw in general was going, and the highlights from Monday Night Raw? What are we thinking?
I'm gonna agree with you. I do say it is going in a good direction. I know in the chat I say don't get our hopes up, but it was a pretty good damn show, man.
Slow process, but a good show.
People, we were saying, we're not going to see the changes for another 3 or 6 months, but I already see the subtle changes, already.
100%.
I've already even seen there was longer matches. The finishes were better.
Felt like a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Same
people were wrestling. People were wrestling on television. There was actual wrestling happening on television. Crazy.
And I was seeing people on Twitter saying, give the women, some more time and whatnot, and that,
Yep.
And the women got a decent amount of time, and I was pretty happy about that, and it was a good setup.
Give it to the right ones, yo. I hate to be picky like that, but give it to the right ones. You got the good ones, and you got the ones. Give it to the right ones, please.
Agreed.
Yo,
Buck, how you feel about the direction that Bianca Belair and Bayley and all of that? How do you feel about that direction? Because we saw like Bianca Belair come out, and she was kind of given the stage by Becky Lynch, who's obviously got to go off with a separated shoulder injury, and you see Bayley and all of them, and later in the match with Io Sky. How do you feel about the direction of the women's division in general now?
I think that it's fitting, kind of in a coincidental way, for Becky to be the one sending her off right now, or for Bianca to be sending Becky off, rather. You know what I mean? Kind of, it was like an exchange or a pass the baton, because I truly see Bayley as like the female Seth Rollins right now. Like she's kind of like that Joker mastermind plot plan heel that I feel like is going to have that role in WWE right now. With this new faction, I feel like it's pretty dope. I love that. I think that everybody needs to have that bad guy, and in this case, a bad girl, bad woman. And Bayley definitely fulfills that role. She kills every role she gets, whether she's a face or she's a heel. But I think her run as a heel definitely isn't over, as we can see. It's going to be pretty fire. And just my overall feelings for Raw before I kick it to Chad, I think that, or WWE in general under the Triple H regime, I think that we should, like, kind of like Ronnie said, give it some time, don't have our hopes up. But I think we could all agree right now it's the same feeling as if you're in the car and you're not driving, but you trust the person behind the wheel. So it's like, all right, we could all just chill out for a sec. I'm gonna know that I don't gotta keep my eyes open the whole time, because you ain't just gonna drive us into a ditch right now. We're good. But I'm still gonna be paying attention to make sure we're getting closer to our destination, because I'm trying to get there. You know what I mean? That's my idea on the whole thing.
Yo, perfect analogies. I was just telling somebody either today or yesterday. I was just telling them about some road trips that I've been on, like tours, DJing and shit. I remember one tour, I was like, there were a couple of times where the driver was a little oof. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to sleep. I'm just going to take a nap. If this shit flips, it's been a good run. If it doesn't flip, I guess we're getting to the next destination.
Ayo woke up with an IV.
I woke up, I was still alive. It was all good.
All right.
I've lived a life, gentlemen.
Yeah, apparently.
Man said, I ain't ready to die. Nobody can faze me. I ain't getting to die. Nobody.
Chad, it's on you.
My takeaway moment from Raw, besides, as we stated, the freshness from all the writing, some of the writing, the wrestling, the women, the emphasis on the United States Championship. seeing that they actually are putting prestige and actually mentioning all the prior champions. I haven't seen a video package for the United States Championship since probably Chris Benoit and Booker T had their best of 7 series for the United States. I was like, wow. I actually forgot this guy was the U.S. champion at one point. Like, oh, wow, yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah. I like seeing this emphasis, which makes me believe that Ciampa is going to beat Lashley next week.
Yo, can we talk about this too? Do we really? I mean, we might know this with Ciampa. I don't think Ciampa's that old, but did you know Bobby Lashley's in his 50s? I didn't even think about that, but he really is, and he's still.
No, he's up there. No,
I thought he was like 42.
He ain't in his 50s.
Somebody said he was in his 50s.
Nah, that's twittering.
Nah, I'll fact check.
I gotta fact check. Yeah, please.
Nah,
Lashley
ain't that.
Lashley I think he's like in his mid-40s or something like that.
Gotta be in his mid-40s.
All right, my bad, Bobby. I didn't mean to do that to you.
Man, about that. This man
said he's 46.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't put it past him doing it in his 50s. That ridiculous. Yeah. He's still doing it
at that pace. Yeah, at that pace, because he did shave off some years with like some of the activity that he did outside of wrestling. So like he actually still has some time left to like get stuff.
Give us back the Hurt Business, and I'm happy, bro. I don't care.
I saw the tweet. I caught the tweet.
Yeah, they're putting it out there. They're putting it out there.
Hey, well,
Shelton Benjamin might not be able to talk on the microphone, but he deserves more than catering, and I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, Shelton Benjamin is one of those dudes. It's like he's one of those guys where he's good enough in the ring that he's going to be able to connect, regardless of whether he can talk or not. Like there's
everybody says they have good chemistry with him. Nobody complains about this.
Did not connect with me when he had the gimmick for a month straight, where he stared into the camera and just stared upside down, left, right, back, and forth.
That's bad writing. That's not on him. That's bad
writing. I didn't forget that about Shelton Benjamin's character at one point in the most recent years.
That's bad writing.
I remember you, bro.
That's some shit that Vincent Kennedy signed off on. That was probably his idea. It's like, yo, I just want you to. You gotta remember. Like Vince was also the same guy that had Bobby Lashley bend over and show his ass on TV. You know what I'm saying? He had Leo Rush come out and tell everybody.
I almost forgot that, man.
Leo Rush was like, yo, hit him with the pose, and then Bobby Lashley bent over. You know what I mean? On TV.
There's no better way to forget about.
Very sick time that we were in with Vince McMahon running the show, bro.
Terrible.
Horny man.
There's no better way to forget about Vince McMahon and talk about Dynamite. Yeah.
AEW Dynamite.
All the lead, daddy.
AEW Dynamite. I was watching this show on delay, about an hour behind. I was listening to a podcast earlier. I don't remember which, but their takeaway was this episode of Dynamite. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but there were a lot of big things that happened that on any other week would have been like, holy shit, I can't believe it. But for some reason, the energy was like, all right, cool. Like case in point with Adam Cole, that breakup and them turning on the Young Bucks and that Hangman Page coming out. That's one of their A1 long time from the beginning of the Federation storylines. And then seeing it, it was like, all right, cool. We'll see what happens next week, right?
Was that us, or was that the crowd? Is that because they were in Ohio, or is that just us, the viewers?
That's what I'm thinking. But I'm also thinking, like, if somebody's watching on TV, such a big part of the way that you feel about the show is the crowd's reaction. So maybe that's a part of it. Because for me personally, like,
blame Ohio.
Yo, like, I need to not go there. How about that?
Yeah. That ain't it.
That's just not it. Powerhouse Hobbs is looking like he's really going to get an active push right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he came out with new gear, a new entrance. Yeah, he squash match, and then Ricky Starks comes out. He hits him with the slam anyway. I like obviously for me the most must watch show every week is Dynamite. Period. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, though.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching that. So that's how I felt. Yeah, we had dumpster matches. We had a lot going on. There's always like a lot that Tony is packing in. How we feel about Dynamite, fellas?
Let's go around the ring. Let's give out at least one of our favorite moments or matches for.
All right, boom. So I'll tell you right now, my favorite match was the women's tag. My favorite match was absolutely the women's tag. We had the champion Thunder Rosa teaming up with Storm. I'm blanking on names right now.
Tony Storm.
Yeah. against
my
Britt Baker.
It's Thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm.
Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Thunderstorm.
Come on, my guy.
The women's tag was definitely my favorite match, and then like just my favorite moment in general. Like I want to see where that Undisputed Era story goes. I like the fact that Hangman came back around. I like the fact that if you pay attention to detail, you realize that Hangman has always had the most issues with Matt Hardy, but he's the one that he helped up off of the mat.
Matt Jackson.
Matt Jackson, pardon me. Matt Hardy. I mean, Freudian slip.
Same.
Him too.
Same
yeah,
Matt.
Exactly. I don't ever want to see another Matt Hardy match as long as I live.
Yo,
I don't know why I felt that way because I really love Matt Hardy, but this past week I really got that feeling. I'm like, I don't know if I want to see this again.
Dog, I really enjoy Christian Cage, like wrestling.
Oh man,
character. So like, I was like, yo, why is he wrestling fucking Matt Hardy and not like Lee Moriarty or something? Someone that like
in the year 2022 of our Lord.
I was like, yo, dog, why is this an advertised match on Dynamite?
That might have been one of those on paper situations where on paper that's fire, but I don't know. I love Christian.
That's Tony Khan still booking like he was a kid. Like these guys are.
I never want to see Matt Hardy wrestle, yo. Like I think I'm really done, bro. Like until Jeff ever comes back, like I think Matt gotta just chill, bro. He gotta just do like fucking being the elite and like some other being the deleter. I don't know, like manage somebody again.
Yeah,
I mean,
what are your takeaways, Ron?
What you got?
I think you know what you were saying before about just the show just being, I guess just there. It was kind of like that for me. I mean, it's always a decent show, but it was cool to me. It wasn't like super duper over the top for me. But I mean,
it wasn't call home. It wasn't call home. It was like,
yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway is just the Adam Cole turning on the Bucks. I'm kind of interested because I know that's going to be leading up to the
trios,
the trios championship.
Trios champ. We got a tournament. Did they announce when that tournament is supposed to start?
I think they did.
It's going to be leading up to All Out.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's the only thing I can really take away from it. I mean, overall, it was overall a solid show.
Right.
But I do have some more thoughts on it when we get to a later topic. But I mean, that was my takeaway. I'm looking forward to that. And the dumpster match, that was pretty entertaining too.
Yeah, pardon me. It was Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm against Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. My bad on blanking on names, but match of the night for me.
Word. I fuck with the dumpster match. My wife was with me the whole time. She don't really fuck with wrestling. It's either you do or you don't. She was watching it, side-eyeing me the whole time, and she happened to catch part of the dumpster match, and she's like, babe, they're in there. I'm like, yeah, no shit. So I ran it back, and I showed her, nah, that wasn't no stunt. When they flipped it, the ass boys were in that shit. Like, you saw the legs. Their legs were in there. That wasn't no dummies. Their legs were in that shit. So that was a dope move. And honestly, for somebody, I'm going to keep it real because it is what it is. Because I come from the music world, and I literally have this ear where everyone's a fucking music brat when they work in music. So you just know what you know and love. So for every reason in the world, I hate rapper wrestlers. I just can't. You know what I mean? Like for me, I just can't. Like I just can't do it. But I will say, shouts out to the Acclaimed because they definitely came out this week and kind of swinging a little bit. And I'm used to them being hokey and whatever, but I do feel like I saw in Max Caster's eyes. I'm not going to front, and somebody could ask him if they know him. But when I saw him on Dynamite, I looked in his eyes when he was about to jump. And I'm like, this motherfucker is like, yo, should I hold my nose or not when you're jumping in the pool? This dude definitely didn't know. He's like, yo, am I really doing this? Yo, he did that shit, dog.
He said fuck. He was up there and he looked down. He said, I read his lips. He said,
shit.
Fuck.
But my moment of the week again is just because I really like where this feud is going. I think my moment of the show is Jungle Boy coming out and sneak attacking Christian. I just want to see what happens with this feud, man. I love Luchasaurus's heel entrance. If I'm gonna be honest with you, when he came back with Jungle Boy, it made me a little sad because I like the Kane version of Luchasaurus.
Right.
But if we get more of that Luchasaurus entrance and Jungle Boy gets to have his entrance too, then I'm cool with it. But yeah, man, I want to see what happens with Christian and Jungle Boy. It seems like it's gonna be a fire ass feud on the next pay-per-view.
My 3 takeaway points from Dynamite would have to be Max Caster Anthony Bowens, they're having a hell of a time as faces right now. Like they're doing a great job as that dope, fiery upper mid card like tag team where they're really over, yo. And they don't even have to win the tag titles. They could just like challenge. Who are the tag champions again, by the way? Really random question. Really stupid question. But really crazy to have to ask that question. Oh, Swerve and Keith Lee.
Swerve in our glory.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. So yeah, the Acclaim could totally like challenge for the tag titles and actually win, considering who the champions are. And if they win or lose, they'd still be really over. The Ass Boys, they are going to continue to relish on Dark Dynamite, Elevation, Rampage, and be that like, C-level tag team that just continues to like, be
the
fire.
Ass Boys are pretty much Dolph Ziggler as a tag team.
Yes, I would agree. I'll go. They are the tag team Dolph Ziggler.
They're Dolph Ziggler squared.
They're actually Nick.
But that's a compliment too. They can wrestle. They could wrestle. I just don't like their personality.
They're not bad. They're not bad in the ring.
My next takeaway will be the Damn, it just slipped from me. Shit. I didn't want to go to it.
Jamie Hayter. He said his next take is just Jamie Hayter. That's it.
Just Jamie Hayter. Just double cheeked up.
I'm hater mob. I'm hater mob, y'all. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm definitely hater mob. Well, all right. This wasn't one, but it's off the cup. Ethan Page and Stokely Hathaway. I'm just like, what's happening here? Where it happened to Scorpio Sky? Where's Dan Lambert? Ethan Page is still here. Stokely is building a team with the baddies and Lee Moriarty and Ethan. Like, I guess like it's an eclectic group of like attractive, like, is this like the AEW version of the Maximum Male Models? Like, what's happening?
Is, bro.
Stokely I don't think it is.
Max Dupree.
I don't think it is. I think it's two different groups because, like, if you remember when Stokely first linked up with Jade, he's the publicist. He's not a manager. He's not anything. He's a publicist.
Sterling's out the fold, though. You don't see Sterling with her no more.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so he linked up with them as the publicist, but now you're starting to see him go and talent scout. So he's not going to be a publicist. He's going to be like actual management here. So you see him link up with Lee. I just literally pulled it up right before you said we got Lee Moriarty and we got Ethan Page. He just put this on Twitter and he has space for another two people. So I'm interested to see, like, because like for me, Stokely Hathaway is entertaining as hell on the mic. I've been waiting for a long time for something meaningful to be done with Lee Moriarty, and you can say the same thing with Ethan Page. A lot of talent there, right?
Big facts.
I want to see, like, for starters, like what is this faction or what is this group called? What is the purpose? Why is he going to try to find talent? And then most importantly, who are going to be the last one or two people that's going to fill this slot? Is it going to be another tag team? Is it going to be another two singles wrestlers? Or are you going to have, like, as far as seniority, somebody to go after the TNT, somebody to go after the Atlantic, somebody to go after the world? Like, where does this actually go? Because I think, like, Stokely Hathaway is one of the most entertaining people on the mic and on camera.
Agreed.
I think it's a good thing, though. I kind of like it. I dig it, and I'm happy to see something being done with Ethan Page, aside from whatever was happening with Dan Lambert.
Right, which was pretty much nothing. So
right, yeah, he was with Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, man,
who's basically back. Jay Lethal with pants.
Yep, he's out.
Yo, I'm out, yo. I'm out.
I think
that's how you end the podcast.
That's the title of the show. Jay Lethal.
I just got to touch base. Lastly, my last takeaway from Dynamite, Mox. That's it, man. MOX, the greatest, the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people worship Roman Reigns and they acknowledge him. But me, it's Mox Mob, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, guy cuts amazing promos. He just him showing up through the crowd. You're just like, yeah, let's go.
All right, hey, I got one last.
I got a question on this Mox right before Bill Paul. Ron.
Yeah.
Early on, and we got the receipts. You were not a Mox guy. He was not a main event guy to you. Between then and now, has the perception of Jon Moxley changed in your eyes?
Yeah, it has. Because I guess I don't know if it's the way he was getting booked in WWE. And
took a while to shake that off in your eyes.
That and when I'm trying to remember the time frame that he left.
A lot of people probably felt the way you did too.
Right.
That
probably, most likely.
Yeah, you most likely wrong with that feeling.
I think right before the Shield broke up, and he had came back. He had got a beard. I think he had cut his hair.
Gained some weight.
He gained some weight. Looked like he's been working out. He's been training harder. And I think that's when they try to put him in in some type of other role or something like that. And I said that's why I start to see the change in him. And then once he left, then he started changing his name, and then he started to work a little bit harder.
Okay.
And I see him now. I was like, yo, this man came a long way, because I was definitely not convinced.
Yeah, you weren't high on that. That's good to know. That's good to know.
And the thing is, like, he was cool. Like, undoubtedly, he was very dope with the Shield, like, because obviously he wasn't the leader, so he could blend in nicely, and they did what they did. But as a main event guy, I don't know who was saying it. One of us said, like, he's like, this era's like Stone Cold. I think Chad who said that.
Bro, when he comes through that crowd, come on, man. Everyone's ready to fight with him.
I love that.
I got one last thing to say. I don't know if you guys want to take it home after this, but I just want to shout out Eddie Kingston's T-shirt collection.
I was just about to say that.
Ryan tweeted that.
That was going to be my honorable mention.
DMX yesterday.
And I found it too. I found it on Amazon.
Get this man a Hot Topic T-shirt deal or something. He needs something that he just too much.
Eddie keeps it authentic though.
Eddie Kingston would be the perfect personal shopper, like for throwbacks or retro or whatever. You get a little Eddie Kingston. Hire him for your T-shirt.
Trinidad James and Complex need to holler at Eddie Kingston for their sneaker show.
Hello,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Those Allen Iverson answers just came out. He's definitely wearing them to the ring on Wednesday.
He's going to wrestle in them.
He will.
For sure.
I know he will.
He's going to wrestle in them.
And I just ruined Chad. If you can't tell, I just ruined Chad's whole night. Chad's night's over.
That's the Dynamite recap, y'all. That's what we got for y'all. It's been so much wrestling this week, man. It's been a loaded week. We don't have any shows coming up besides All Out and Clash at the Castle in 4 weeks. So these next couple of weeks should just be us a lot of recaps over what's going on in promotions. There's always some crazy news happening every single week in professional wrestling. So make sure y'all follow us. Ringside Club. We here. You know what I'm saying? You see the @ names right here. Follow CHADLAW. You dig?
Absolutely. Make sure you follow us or myself at 1AO Baker across all social media. Ron Don at Ron Don PMF, at Blame Boogie, at Chad Law. Make sure you follow at Ringside Club and at The Ringside Club. RingsideClub.com. Subscribe on all platforms, all podcast platforms. Going to be going live soon. ProWrestlingHats.com is going to be going live soon.
Indeed.
Shouts to the Fourth Rope. We're here. This is a lot cleaner than last week's. I feel very good about this.
Nah, this
video
is
looks good.
Great setup.
Video looks good. Yeah, we feeling good. Thanks. Shouts to anybody that happened to power through last week's episode, because
it was rough. It was rough. But this is gonna be an upgrade. This is a long episode right now, but we're getting the structure right. They might not stay this long episodes, but we got things going in the future. You know what I'm saying?
We just here to have a good time and do the damn thing. You heard? So it's the Ringside Club. We'll catch y'all next week. Same time, same channel. You heard?
We out.
Peace.
Yeah.